guys, so while we're kind of in a little bit of a hiatus and some of these parts are over at powder coat, I'm actually going to be doing the Beadlock wheels and mounting all 6 of those. I've had one of them that I've done just for mock-up reasons, but I have 2 more left and I figured I'd film one of them. That way you guys know how to do it yourself. And yeah, let's get to it. All right, so here's our wheels right here. These are going to be the GMC forged impact wheels. I've gotten them obviously powder coated my own custom color to, in my opinion, make them look a little bit more unique. But while I got these to bring it up, so these are going to be a forged beadlock wheel. They come in at about 27 pounds a piece, which is far lighter than any other beadlock wheel you're going to find on the market right now. Even the ones made in the United States definitely come in substantially heavier. And I feel like it's one of those things in the truck world, everybody just kind of figures run as heavy as possible, and I think it's a massively overlooked detail, and I keep on kind of spreading that as I make these videos, that these are going to be one of the best options out there. They are imported, which makes them a little bit more cost effective, but again, very high quality forged wheel. Once you buy these, you're probably not buying another wheel. So, well, let's get to getting these things mounted. All right, well, first things first, I've set out this mat right here. That way I'm not scratching the back of this wheel this whole time. And I guess I'll kind of take this opportunity to describe what a beadlock wheel is. So this is gonna be the beadlock ring. It actually bolts on with a total of 20 bolts to actually hold the bead in mechanically right here. So this allows the wheel to actually take much higher side loads, and then also you can run the actual tire at a much lower PSI, which creates a far smoother ride when you're doing heavy off-roading. You don't want to be running at, 60 PSI like some of these HD trucks do. You're going to be running at about 15 PSI to 20 PSI, depending on who you are. A lot of people have different opinions on that. And then also, one of the kind of fun facts about these is these are not DOT legal. I've actually had a terrible time trying to find a tire shop that'll actually mount these. Some of them do it for a little bit. Some of them absolutely refuse to, because technically it is illegal for them to do. So if you run into a shop that won't actually mount them, that's why. And, because of that, that's why we're doing it at home and doing it ourselves. So, all right, one thing that's going to help you out is actually going to be lubing the inside of this tire. In my case, I'm using some tire shine, but I'm sure you can find something else that'll kind of allow that bead to want to slide over the actual side of the wheel. And just wipe it like that. The wetter the better. And let's get a little bit more on there. And then we'll drop this thing on. And slowly, you'll work your way around. I know this is kind of the getaway of doing this, but you'll slowly kind of get that bead around. And bam, drops on just like that. And next you'll have this inside bead right here. You'll notice this doesn't want to fit on perfectly. So I actually take a rubber mallet and try to get it until the entire edge is actually dropped down below that. See that entire edge right there is sitting below that mounting surface. That way we're now ready to get that ring on. We'll lay this on right here. So there are logos on this. I try to match up the logos with that valve stem right there. And let's get some of these going. And start throwing them in. I throw, starting off with 4 of them, and I throw them in just hand tight, just to start lining up this actual ring. Then, so I do 1, 2, 3, 4, and then I throw the impact gun on them. And now you get to the rest of them. Now it's easier to get a little bit more thread engagement out of them. I know some people will start off with just one. I like doing 4 just because it starts setting that whole ring a lot more even. So let's get to the rest of these. Well, there's all of our bolts right there. And then one thing to throw in there is I throw on anti-seize in each one of these to make sure that they do not get stuck in there. Otherwise, when you need to change tires in the future, you'll end up breaking bolts trying to get them out. Steel and aluminum likes to bond to each other. So now let's start getting these things torqued down. So I do a star pattern, back and forth. So you'll notice the back of the wheel right here, this is the bead that has to be brought up to this point right here. So if you just start filling up with air, you're just gonna have air come in loose. So I take this right here. I know a 5-gallon bucket will work too. And you can kind of just drop that right on there. And then you can kind of push down the edges. I know this is going to be easier with a 40-inch tire. I know smaller tires is probably harder to get that leverage. But just like that. Now we start loading up our compressor right here. And I usually set it for about 20 PSI. And as this goes, eventually you'll hear it basically snap that bead to the back edge right there. So just wait for it. So now you actually want to torque these at 20 foot-pounds each, and I guess that's kind of what they recommend. And from there, just repeat the process, I guess 5 more times, and you'll be good to go. So I got one more to do. Let's get this one out. All right, well, I know that's a shorter video than most of these other ones, but hopefully some of you guys picked up something, or at least you enjoyed watching. Anyways, thank you, and I'll catch you on the next one, dudes.